ചികിത്സയില്ലെങ്കിൽ അവനെ ഞങ്ങൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ നഷ്ടപ്പെടാൻ മതി. അസ്സലാമു അലൈക്കും. എൻ്റെ പേര് സന. ഞങ്ങൾ മലപ്പുറം ജില്ലയിലാണ്. എൻ്റെ മോൻ്റെ പേര് മുഹമ്മദ് റയാൻ. അവനക്ക് ബ്ലഡ് ക്യാൻസറാണ്. അതൊക്കെ ഓട്ടോറിക്ഷ ജോലിയാണ്. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കഴിയൂല. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും പരമാവധി സഹായിക്കണം.
Hundreds of millions of us have that sense, that maybe there's a part of you even that existed before you were born and that will exist after you die. And that's not just Buddhist or Hindu. It's a larger context beginning to appear in your awareness that you're part of a larger fabric. And it's drawing you. You know it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever looked at the world and thought, maybe my experiences in the world are not just random? Maybe all the time I've spent trying to avoid bad luck and pray for good luck can be or have been, are being superseded by another perception in which everything that I experience serves me. Now, that's a big one to think about. If you get cancer, is that serving you? If your child has cancer, is that serving you? If you've been betrayed, is that serving you? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is.
Why is it so hard for us to realize that or recognize that when we're in the moment of so much pain and overwhelm and stress and questions? Why did this person kill my child? Why did my partner have cancer and die? Why these things that maybe don't make sense? How do we make sense of them?
It's not making sense of them, although that happens. That happens. It's seeing how that serves you. Mm. Everything that you experience in the Earth School, let's call it that, which is a span between the day, your birthday and your death day. Mm-hmm. Everything that happens to you within that span, which is a span of experience in a domain of time and space and matter and duality, serves you in bringing the consciousness of your soul into the awareness of your personality. Mm. And many of these experiences are experiences that the personality would not choose. And the pain that comes from these parts of the parts of your personality that originate in fear, put it that way, is real. Heartache is not poetical. It is real. And when someone close to you passes on, that sense of grief and loss and pain and despair and anger at the universe, those are difficult experiences. But when you have experiences like that, and everyone does, know that each of those experiences are blessings. Now, let me spell that out. Each of those experiences are communications, you might say, from your soul. And what they're communicating is this. You are now experiencing a part of yourself, an aspect of your personality that you need to experience fully and move beyond the control of in order to give the gifts that you were born to give.
Wow.
And probably we've all met people who've had cancer or they've lost a leg or an athlete that's been crippled. And they can say later, I'm so grateful for that. Mm-hmm. They couldn't at the time, but they can now. Well, as you become multisensory, you can even say it at the time. Mm. That's creating authentic power. Wow. And everything that Linda and I, that's my spiritual partner. And by the way, I consider anyone who wants to have relationships of substance and depth, anyone who is looking inside themselves to change themselves for the better rather than blame the world or credit the world for their pain or their joy. Those are potential spiritual partners, mm-hmm. equals who are together for the purpose of spiritual growth, which means creating authentic power.
How can we, in a moment of pain and tragedy, worldly tragedy, find peace and grace and say, this is happening for me, and instead of, why did this happen to me?
Sometimes grace comes. And grace is a temporary experience, a gift from the universe that allows you to experience your life as it would be without fear.
Mm.
And the pain is gone. And you see what's happening, but the pain is gone. And then grace leaves you and the pain rushes back in.
Mm.
Now, when you have an experience of grace, your responsibility, if you take it, is to make that experience permanent, is to create that as an ongoing, stabilized life that you are living. Well, for example, I was adopted, Linda and I were adopted into the Lakota culture about 30 years ago because some work I was invited to do with Native American youth. And the more I become familiar with Aboriginal cultures, the more I sense how grounded they are, how wise they are. Now, these are the cultures. I'm not talking about all the people in them, because so many of the people in them have grown up in generation of sexual abuse, alcoholism, poverty, squalor. But still the culture exists in many, and there it's a treasure. So I'll get back to one thing I learned, which was about a vision quest. So I took one, and I had experiences on this vision quest that were startled me. And afterwards, everyone in Lakota who's in the culture, the real culture that's still alive, knows that when you go on a vision quest, which is they call crying for a vision, humble Echiapi in Lakota, it means not weeping. It means just tell me, God, please, universe, creator, why am I alive? Why am I here? What can I give? And not everyone gets a vision, but when you do, then it's your responsibility to bring it into your life and make it real all the time. So that's the first answer to your question. Yeah. What do we do when the pain knocks us to our knees? That doesn't happen to a lot of people, but it happens. So I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
If you're like me, I've had experiences of grace, but my growth has been more incremental. Instantaneous blessing from the universe. So what do you do when that pain comes? You experience it. And then some people say, oh my God, Gary, come on. It can't hurt anymore. So tell me something helpful. I'm talking about emotional awareness in real terms, not I can't take it anymore. I can't live anymore. This is excruciating, or I'm happy, I'm joyful, I feel bubbly, light. Those are just labels. To really get to know your emotional currents requires being able to experience and articulate them in terms of physical sensations in your body, physical sensations. So when you're feeling any emotion, so we're talking about painful emotions now, turn your attention inside yourself, in your body. Put them into specific areas in your body. There's only